All right, in this tutorial we're going to cover complementary colors directly, essentially colors directly across the color wheel in both Photoshop and Illustrator. So for example, red, green, yellow, purple, orange, blue. The classic is the red, green. If you ever look at a stoplight, and you'll notice that they're in different places, the yellow and red, the green and red, but they're definitely complementary colors. They give you the most contrast, and that's why they're chosen in terms of traffic lights. So there is a reason behind complementary colors. So you can find all kinds of complementary color images on the internet. These are some that are on there. The classic complementary color of The Starry Night by Van Gogh. And then here's some student work of complementary colors that I have in here. Some that's a little more subtle, so they're not extreme saturation, but still has complementary colors. And others that are a little more exaggerated. So you can have fun exploring those. There's my example here, the zombie here, with the red and green. So let's figure out how to do this in both Photoshop and Illustrator. So in Photoshop, basically you have your paintbrush tool and you're in the Essentials workspace, which is what I'm in here. You have the color picker here, basically, the color wheel. And so I can click on the green here, and I can come in here and grab any saturation or brightness or lightness or darkness. Again, that adjusts the saturation needle here by moving left to right, and then the brightness is left to right from the bottom to the up. So I like to keep it in the middle here, and basically just create a new layer here, and then paint it away. It looks like I don't have the opacity all the way up, so I'm going to hit 0, which will bring it back to 100%. So now I got the full color here. But then I can come over here to the opposite color on this side and paint away. And so now I have essentially a green and red in that directly opposite. So if I want a more red, I can grab from here and go across to directly across here. But these two colors are essentially opposites of each other, essentially on the color wheel. So you can go around here and pick, yellow to blue, for example. So whatever kinds of colors that you want to choose from, pick those two colors. And then paint away. And basically I can lock down this layer and create new layers like we did before. Fairly easy to do in here in Photoshop. Let's switch to Illustrator. Again, we're using tablet size for both of these. Illustrator, I'm going to switch to the from the Essentials workspace to the Painting workspace. And then the Swatches library, if I click on the little hamburger icon, go down to Swatch Options, Open Swatch Library, and then go to Scientific and choose the Complementary. There's also a split complementary we'll take a look at too, which is kind of nice. So again, go down to, we'll go through that process again. Click on hamburger icon, these little lines here, go down to Open Swatch Library. We'll go to Scientific, and then we'll choose Complementary. That opens up that one. And then we'll go down to Open Swatch Library, Scientific, and we'll try the split complementary. So the split complementary and complementary colors, both are really cool to kind of play around with. Any of these that I want to choose, I just click on and it will load it in the library here. If I click on the little library, it'll add that on there. If I click the individual color, it'll pop it up in here in the swatches. So you want to make sure you click on the folder to bring it in. I could also do that with the split complementaries. I can click on this one or that one and they'll show up here. And then to paint with them, all I have to do is select a color with a blob brush, for example, and click on that. So the orange and the blue are basically complementary, and then, orange and purple. The split is what's happening in between here, basically, but you get a nice range here. So you could use the split. I would recommend sticking with the complementary though. The orange and purple, for example, are going to be really nice to work with here. So that orange with that purple. And then again, if I want shades of those, just make sure you double click in here and go up and down, either darker or lighter to get the values, the various values. In Photoshop, I forgot to mention that. The same thing with these colors. If I hold the Alt key and select that purple, if I double click in here, I can go a darker shade of that purple, click OK and paint away. Or if I want a lighter shade of that color, just click in here and paint away. And then the same with this sort of yellowish green color, I can come in here and maybe bring it just a little more yellowish. But I can pick the higher intensity yellow, and then I can go down to the darker intensity of the yellow. All right, so you can do that in both Photoshop and Illustrator using the color picker, and choose both the complementary colors in both. So that's complementary colors in Photoshop and in Illustrator. Until next time, see you soon. Cheers.